Hello everyone, this week is week 11 and we're going to continue with our topic, a database application. And this week is also our last week of the lecture. So next week we're going to go through all the materials and content we learned, and I will talk something about our exam. And this year is the online exam, so it will be different from previous. So I will mention more details next week. So don't worry. And let's come back to today's topic, database. So last week we have talked about some fundamental knowledge about database and also how to create database, how to create a query, and something related. And this week we're going to talk about like how to design the user interface, the UI for our database. So mainly including the database forms, database reports, and database export. And then I will spend a short time to describe and talk something about the big data. So today's content is not that many, so I will try to finish in the short time so you can have more time to do more practice by yourself. So regarding the readings, so you can continue to read the relevant content in your textbook or some other related materials online or from some other textbooks. And so let's start with today's first part, database user interfaces. And let's look at the database form first. So the form is a database object that you can use to create a user interface for the database application. So a form can also provide areas for entering or modifying data in the database. So before you learn how to create a form, you should understand why should we use form. So the database form can be divided into two types. One is called a bound form, and the other is called the unbound form. So bound form is the one that is directly connected to a data source, such as a table or query, and can be used to enter, edit, or display the data from that data source. Alternatively, you can create an unbound form does not link directly to a data source, but which still contains common button, labels, or other control that you need to operate your application. So in this lecture or in this subject, we only focus on the bound form, so which is simpler. So you can use this bound form to control access to data, such as which field or which rows of data can be displayed. For example, certain users might need to see only several fields in a table with many fields. So providing those users with a form that contains only those fields makes it easier for them to use the database. So think of a bound form as a window through which people see and reach your database. An effective form speeds the use of your database because people don't have to search for what they need. A visually attractive form makes working with the database more pleasant, more efficient, and it can also help prevent incorrect data from being entered. So that's why we should learn to create or use the form. Then let's see how to create a form in Access. So when you open your Access, when you click the create, you can see last week we learned how to create a query. Besides that is the form, and we have different ways to create a form. So first is to create a form based on the existing table. So when you click on some table, then when the table is highlighted, you can create this. You can click this button, and the form will be automatically created based on your existing table. And then the second is the form design. So it will you will create a form by using the form design panel. But you need to enter all the details by yourself later. And then it's the blank form. It means that you have to create a form from scratch. You have to design everything from nothing. So this is more for advanced user. And then it's the form wizard. So it will assist with creating form, good for beginner and limited for advanced user because it has many limitations here. So I will show you how to create form later. So this figure just shows you, if you want to enter the data without using form, you have to open your table and enter all the information one by one, line by line. It is tedious and is insufficient. So you have to type directly in the table, and there's no user interface. Since you are using the Microsoft Access, so you have the table, just like Excel, you can enter. But if you use some other database tools, and you probably don't have this, it will be even harder for you to enter the data. So that's why you have to use the form to enter the data. So if you choose to use the form to enter the data, then it should look like this. There's a pop-up window and contains all the fields and the information you need. You can change the data, or you can go through to the end of the table and add new record. And once you click save, it will be all saved into your database. So then you don't have to need to go to the table and enter everything one by one. And by this window, actually, you have more options. For example, for the date, you can just use the panel to choose the date. And also, for the major, for example, you don't have to type the major code if you don't remember. So there's a list, and you can select from the list, and which is corresponding to a major. So which makes the data entry much more efficient. And I will show this later. Then let's see how to use the Access to create the form. So this database contains 3 tables. So one is a department table, and this is the datasheet view. So this is all the information in this department table, the code, department name, I think, and it's the head, and it's the duty head, and then it's the school name, and then it's the major table contains the major code, major name, and the department code. And then it's the student table. So this table is not finished. So it contains student ID, full name of the student, address, information, email, date admitted, major code, photos, and all. You can click add some more. So that is the database. Then let's see how to create the form. So then first you need to click create. Here you have, as I mentioned, you have 4 different ways to create a form. So let's see the first one. So first one, you need to click on the table. You don't need to open it, just need to one click and make it highlighted, and then click the form. So then you'll be form will be automatically graded. So for the department, so here is the department information. And why you see this? Because let me show you. Because due to the relationship, so this department is related to the major table. So that's why you will see additional major table in your department form. So if you if you don't need it, you can just delete it. So most of the time we don't need this related table in another form. So we can just go to the design view, delete this form and switch back. Now it's gone. So you may notice when you right click on the form, there are 3 different the views. So first is the form view. So form view is the user interface. You can add, change, or delete the record from here. And then it's the layout view. So layout view from name, it indicates you can change the layout of your form. For example, you can change the size of the window, or you can change the drag a different field into different place. Yeah, so that's the layout view, and last is the design view. So in the design view, you can do more things here. You cannot change the windows, the size of the window, but you can still to drag to the different to the field to a different location, like more precisely. And also, when you click the design, you can have a more some more element here. So you can just add some like the text box, the label, or you can even add the hyperlink, or you can add the option group. Also, this important combo box, and then you can draw lines. You can even add a checkbox, insert the like an unbounded object frame. You can add the attachment, and also you can add this button as well. So you can do many things in the design view. So I will show you how to use the this combo box and the button later. So this form contains all the information from table. So here you can see 3. It means there are 3 records. So let's open the department table. You can see there are 3 records here, and then you can click here. Then you will see all the records in the table. And if you want to add one more record from the form, you just need to click again. Then you can enter. You cannot enter here. They need to change to the form view. Then you can enter like anything, tests, heads, tests. Then you can save here. Save the form as a department. Yes. Then we'll go back to the department table. You'll see there's one more record is added by the form. And then how to create a new form by design view. So now we just go back to close this form, and it will just don't save. Then we want to create a new form by using the form design. So just click. We don't need to actually click table. So we just click the form design. So now the form is unnamed. So first you need to do is to save the form. So now we want to use this form to relate it to the major table. So let's call it major. Save, and then let's go here. So we'll click your design view, the design view. You will see from here. Then you will see the everything, the formats, the data, the events, the others, and all the information. But then you can click the form, and then you will see from here that you can choose the record source. So we want to click the major, you can click major. Then you can just save it first, and then you can click add existing fields. So all the existing fields from the major view will be shown here. So then you want to add everything or part of things from this table. You can choose part of it, or you can choose all of it. And then so when you choose all of it, then you need to drag from here, and everything from this table will be added. But also you can you may even just add part of it. For example, I want to delete this part. That's also fine. But we want to keep it all. Then we click save. Then you may notice, so when you create a new form by the form design, so when you right click on the form, there's one more view called the datasheet view. So when you click here, you may notice, so this datasheet view looks exactly the same as the table. So actually it's the same as the table. You can also add some new record here, and you can change the record here. But still you have the form view. So you can also change the information from here as well. And also you can add a new record from the form view as well. So then let's back to the slides. So this slide just tell you that how to create the form by using the form design. So I just show you that. So when you click on the form design, then you need to select the record source. Then you need to add the existing table. Then you choose which field you want to add into your form, and by just drag it, then the new form will be created. So it's a little more complicated by the previous method, but you have more control of your form. So then let's talk about how to design your form by this combo box. So why combo box is important? Because using this combo box, you just need to use the mouse rather than the keystrokes. So you can just select the item from the list. You don't need to type everything in, and also you can add some more information to this to the information you want to type in, such as like the comments. So I will show you later. And also because our database is made up of these related tables, and we can use the combo box to select values rather than having to type them. So I will show you how to just add this combo box. So before we learn combo box, first we need to create a new form of the student form. So we highlight the student table, click create in the form, and the new form is automatically created based on the student table. So here we want to so when you change to the form view, so if we want to add the, for example, the new record for the last record, if we want to go to like change, add the information about the students, the major, so we have to type in the major codes. But actually, this major code is not easy to remember. Then how to use the combo box to make the data input easier. So now we can refer to the combo box. So first we need to go to the design view. We need to delete this two items first. Then go to the design, click on the combo box, and then click here. So then you need to choose first one. I want the combo box to get the values from another table or query. So for the major, we need to get the information from the major table. Then we need to have the major code and the major name. Then click to the next. So first is the major code, then it's the major name. Next. So here's the final combo box look like, but it doesn't contain the major code. You need to click here, show the key column, then go next. So you have the combo box, yeah, with the major code, that's fine. Finish, and you do a little adjustment. The combo box is created. So one thing I need to emphasize is that so after you create your combo box, make sure that this the data, the control source is the major. So it's the value you need to change. So otherwise, if the control source is incorrect, you cannot save your value. Then let's see the results. Switch back to the form view. So once again, if you want to change the major, then you don't need to type in because the major code is not easy to remember. You can just click here, and then that's all the option, and also with the major name. So it will easy for you just click on which information you want to enter, and then save your information. Then you will see the results in the table. Then back on slides. So this is the process of to create a combo box. So from the slides, the version of the access is different from what I'm using now. So the layout could be a little different. So, but that's fine. Then let's look at how to create a button in the form design. Okay, now let's see how to use the button to operate the database. For example, how to use the button to add a new record. So let's take a department table as example. So here we have a three records. So that's a test. We delete that. So we want to add some new records by using the form and the button. So let's go to the department form, go to the design view. So here on the top, you will see different components. Then we'll choose the button. Then click here. Then actually you can use the button to do many things. You can do the record navigation, record operations, form operations. So let's try the record operation. Add a new record. Next. And we want to just go to the new, add a new record, yes. And give a name, new, then finish. Actually, you can adjust the size of the button. Look, makes it looks a little better. Okay, then save. Then go back to the form view. Now you see that the button has been created. So if we don't use the button, we have to go to the end of the form view to add more things. But by using the button, when we click here, it will automatically go to the last one. Then we can test this new records. For example, and save. Then we'll go back to the table. You will see the new record has been added. So that's the usage of the button. But by using button, you can do many things, as I mentioned. So you can do more practice in the tutorial. Then let's see how to create a database report. So what is report? So at some point, you probably need to present some of your data to another person. And the Microsoft Access can help you to create a very professional looking report to do this. So reports need to be designed to support the management making the best decisions based on the reports. And the source of the reports, which data, can be collected from the table directly or from the queries as well. And also you can use the report to perform some simple calculations. For example, if you want to do the financial report, you can do some financial calculations in the report to show the numbers which is not included in the database. And for the report design, there are several features for the headings and the annotations. So you just use a different format to make your report looks professional. Also, you can use these hierarchical groupings, and also with the group subtotals and totals to do the reports. So about the report design, a well-designed report can be broken into a number of bands. And here is an example of the report. You can see that the report is very well organized, designed with the headings very clear, and also with the key information to be very clear to the readers. So to create a report is very similar to create a form. So I will show you later to see how to create reports. So here's the database. So let's create a report first based on the table. We want to create a report to show the department table information. So just click on the department table and create. So also just similar to the form, we have 4 ways to create a new report. So this one is also based on the existing table. So when we make the table highlighted, then we create the report. The report will be automatically generated. Then you notice that then here's the dashed lines the boundary, but some contents is already over the boundary. So let's make some adjustment. and also the page number, and also the counter. And then we save the report. OK. Then we switch to the report view, and this is the final report. Then you may notice for the report, we do the right click. There are also several different views. So layout view, just we just showed, and then there's also a design view. So design view shows more details about this report. So when you go back to the report view, you will see the date and time, the counter, the page number. Then you go back to the design view, you will see how this information is presented. So this means the date, this means the time, and in this way we can have our page number and this code just to count the how many records in this table. So then let's create another form based on these queries. So this query just show you the department names with the majors in the department and all the students' last name and first name with the student ID, which is enrolled in this major. So let's make a report to summarize all this information. So this time we'll use the report design. So we click on the create, then it's a report design. So similar as a form, we need to add the existing field to this report. Here we need to click here and go to the property sheet, choose the report from our data resource, record resource. We need to choose the queries and then add existing fields, and all this existing field is shown here in this query. So we can actually drag everything here. So you can make the report a little more professional by changing the size of the window, the font size, but I will skip here. And then, so this report has no like the titles. You can add the titles here as well, like for the example, the query. Save. And also we need to add the page footer, for example, the page number. So you can either use the code you learned from the last example, or you can use here the page number. Then you just drag this to the page footer here and save. Then you may want to add the time as well. Just click here, so you can choose different format of the time. Then it will be added on top of your reports. So let's check how that report look like now. So that's the report look like now. Looks probably a little bit not that good. So, but you can adjust yourself later. Change back to the design view. So you may play with the different text box or add more element in the report as well. So you can do more investigation later in your tutorial. So I won't show here. So now let's go back to the slides. So in this example, you can see that here's the design view of the report, and here's the results. And in this report, the design view, where we use the count function to count the student number in each department. So that is a way to do some simple calculations, so you can have more practice in the tutorial. And then it's the database export. So you can use the Microsoft Access database and export it into different formats. For example, the Excel spreadsheet, the text file, the XML files, or the PDF files. So this export is very simple. So first you need to select which one you need to export. Is the tables or the queries or the forms, reports. Then when you click, then just choose the corresponding method. Then the database will be exported. So finally, let's spend a short time to describe the big data. As I mentioned many times previously, big data is one of the most important direction in the future. Due to the IoT, we have so many different sensors, actuators, smart devices. They are generating huge amount of data every second. And how to deal with this huge amount of data is a bigger challenge. And also, right now, until now, AI is still based on big data. Maybe in the future, AI will based on small data or even zero data, but that will be like in the long future. So currently, I would say in next couple of years, still our AI, machine learning, deep learning will based on the big data. So first, let's start with the characteristic of the big data. So big data can be recognized as three ways. So volume, velocity, and variety. Volume is very easy to understand, so big data should be very big. But how big it is, we can consider as big data. Should be like terabyte or petabyte or even more. So my opinion is that the big data should start with the petabyte. And if you don't remember how large is the petabyte, so please go back to our previous slides to review some information about this terabyte and the petabyte. And nowadays, many applications or many companies declare they have a big data ability, but I highly doubt that because big data actually should be based on a huge amount of data. And nowadays, only a very few companies has the ability to deal with big data, such as Microsoft, because Microsoft has a huge amount of the users, and their Windows system generates huge amount of data every second, same as Google and or Amazon as well. So these companies can have the ability to deal with big data, not small companies like even like the like user size probably 1,000 or hundreds. So that's not the big data. Then is the velocity. It means that how fast the data is generated. So nowadays, due to the like Google, the Amazon, so huge amount of data are generated like every second. So many people use Google same time all over the world. So when these people do the search, it will generate a lot of data. Same as Amazon as well. So there'll be like millions of people do the online shopping every day, even every hour. So it will be huge amount of data will be generated from Amazon like service. Then is the variety. Because different from our spreadsheet database, actually the big data was generated from like smart city or from the Google search. The format of the data should be very like complex. I mean, the structure of data is also very different. So this data could contain the text, the image, the audio, the video. For example, for the Google search, so some people search for the news, which is text. Some people just do the image searching. Some people prefer to search for some music, or some is search for some videos. So all this data will be generated and mixed with each other and construct as a unstructured data. And this data is very hard to deal with, different from our spreadsheet or the database. Everything is very organized, very well structured. So we just apply some simple programming language and we can do the filtering. We can just do the sorting, but for the big data, first we need to filter out all those useless data, make this unstructured data in a reasonable way, then we can start to process this data. And nowadays, there's a number of database which can deal with this big data type. For example, the MongoDB can deal with the unstructured data, but we won't touch this MongoDB in our lecture. But if you feel interested, you can do online searching by yourself, and probably can do some practice with yourself. It's not hard. Then for the big data, we also need the data visualization, the data analysis, and all that, the data science. So similar as our spreadsheet to visualize data. So big data, the method to visualize data is a little bit different. So nowadays, there are several tools to deal with the big data visualization. So you can just Google by yourself. I would say, for example, the Power BI or the Tableau can be a good option. And Tableau has been used in many countries or many companies as well. And Power BI start to be used in many companies. So to learn these tools will be very helpful for you. And then it's the data analysis to deal with data, big data. So the tools can be like the Apache series. So you can Google the Apache and then you find different tools to deal with data. And then data science is a big concept. So everything related to the data processing, data analytics, data visualization, we can calculate as a data science. Then it's big data and AI. First, what is AI? So computers making decisions in the real world problems through learning. Means that the computers can learn just like human beings. It can understand the problem, so it can understand just like human do. Or it can do the reasoning, so it will understand the underlying ideas and concepts. And it has the ability to learn, so it never stops learning, so lead to self-improvement. So for example, so if we have like the self-driving vehicles in the farm, so it has like the AI computers. So AI will first apply the methods to do the work in the farm. So when it's trying to do the practice, it may have some feedback. So that is either good things or bad things. So this feedback will give back to the computer. So computer will like compare with the previous results. Okay, if the problem has been improved or not improved. If it's improved, it will remember that and do further improvements. Then if this method cannot improve the solution, then the computer also will make a mark and try some other method again. So by doing this, our computer can keep on learning and to achieve the optimal solution. So here is a very simple example to show you how for a computer to distinguish between a cat and a dog. So step one, we should program some basic rules into the machine to tell the difference between the cat and dog. For example, the tail, the ears, and the fur texture, the color. And then step two, so give machine a huge amount of dog and cat pictures to learn. And learning process is just like a human. So when the machine is correctly tell whether it's dog and a cat, give a positive. So we give a huge amount of a picture to the machine, like it's a cat, this is a cat, this is not a cat. Also, it looks like a cat, but it's not a cat. It's a cat, and it's dog. It's not dog. Also, it looks like fat dog, but it's not. It's dog and it's dog. So like, and then we just give all these trainings to the machine again, and finally, machine will like make the will notify all the details between the cat and dog. And finally, when you give a new picture to this machine, it can recognize if it's dog and cat. And finally, you can look this video to see some basic knowledge about AI with big data and AI in our daily life. So AI, so although AI is a new technology, but actually has been applied in our daily life already. So for example, the social media. So many the news now is written by the AI actually. So it looks like it's written by the human beings, but it's not. Many the big the press start to use the AI to to write their news, because it can save the manpower, save cost, and also it's very efficient, because in the middle of the night, no one is working. If something big happens, and an AI can automatically generate a report and send to the internet. And also in the social media, AI is usually used to learn the behavior of the user. So the AI will recognize, okay, what kind of content this user prefer to read. Just like so that she or he looks like prefer the movie or the music. So what kind of music does she or he like, or what kind of news he or she prefers. So it will get all this information, and in the future, it will push relevant content to this user, and to make this user stay online as long as as we can. So that's the purpose to use AI in the social media. Then it's the gaming video for sure. Nowadays we have many the boots, and this boot is programmed by AI. Then it's the navigation and travel. So Google Map has a very advanced AI algorithm. You can calculate the best path from the source to destination, because everything is changing in real time. For example, the traffic information, any accident happening on the street. So AI will like dynamically adjust your route from the source to the destination. And then for the banking and for finance as well. So AI has been widely used in banking and finance. So as far as I know, there's this agent is pure based on AI. So it will give you the advice. So which stock to buy, which stock to sell, and of course, it depends on you whether or not to listen to this AI machine. But as far as I know, several people do earn a lot of money by following the AI instruction. Okay, that's all for our lecture today. So if you have any questions, please let me know. And let's see you next week for the exam preparation.